मातलिः इन्द्रयवेह ध्रुवस्तिष्ठ यः राष्ट्रमुधारय अभितिष्ठवृतन्यतः अधरेशं दशत्रवः इन्द्रयवृत्रः तिष्ठ देवीं वाचमजनयन्त देवाः तां विश्वरूपाः पशवो वदन्ति सा नो मन्द्रेशमोर्जन्दहान धेनुर्वागस्मानुपतिष्ठतैतु सुमुहूर्तोऽस्तु प्रतिष्ठितमस्तु। ओं भूर्भुवस्सुवरों ममोपात्त समस्त दुरितक्षयद्वारा श्रीपरमेश्वरप्रीत्यर्थम् अद्य शुभदिने शोभने मुहूर्ते श्री स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती गुरूणां प्रसाद सिद्ध्यर्थम् तत् सिद्धिद्वारा श्री स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती गुरूणां स्थापितानां सकल विद्याशालायां विद्यार्थीनां आचार्यवर्गाणां कार्मिकवर्गाणां सकल क्षेमाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् आरोग्य दृढगात्रता सिद्ध्यर्थम् श्री स्वामी दयानंद सरस्वती गुरूणां शिष्यवर्गाणां भक्तवर्गाणां सकल क्षेमाभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् आरोग्य दृढगात्रता सिद्ध्यर्थम् श्री दयानंद सरस्वती गुरूणां परिपूर्ण अनुग्रह सिद्ध्यर्थम् तत् सिद्धिद्वारा आर्षविद्या वर्गस्थानां सर्वेषां भक्तजनानांश्च क्षेमस्थैर्य धैर्य वीर्यविजय आयुरारोग्य ऐश्वर्याभिवृद्ध्यर्थम् विशेषतः कोरोना इति नाम अणुकृमेः सर्वतः अभावाप्तिसिद्ध्यर्थम् तत्कृत उत्पात निवृत्त्यर्थम् ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याणाम् आचार्याणीनांश्च अखिल भारतीय सेवा अभियानस्य सेवकानांश्च स्वे स्वे कर्मणि निर्विघ्नेन निरन्तर प्रवृत्त्यर्थम् मध्ये संभावित विघ्नकर्तॄणां समूलतः निवारणार्थंश्च श्री दयानंद सरस्वती गुरूणां परिपूर्ण अनुग्रह सिद्ध्यर्थम् यथाशक्ति पूजा आराधना अर्चनं च करिष्ये। ओं गणानां त्वा गणपतिं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत नः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ओं श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां भिषजे भवरोगिणां निधये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओं श्रीगुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः। प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धेनामवित्रवतो आनो दिवो बृहतः पर्वतादा सरस्वती यजतागन्तु यज्ञं हवन् देवी जुजुषाणागता चेशग्मान्नो वाचमुशति शृणोतु। ओं श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। कलशस्य मुखे विष्णुः कण्ठे रुद्रसमाश्रितः मूले तत्र स्थितो ब्रह्मा मध्ये मातृगणाः स्मृताः कुक्षौ तु सागराः सर्वे सप्तद्वीपा वसुन्धरा ऋग्वेदोऽथ यजुर्वेदः सामवेदो ह्यथर्वणः अङ्गे च द्वैताः सर्वे कलशन्तु समाश्रिताः आयान्तु देवपूजार्थं दुरितक्षयकारकाः गङ्गे च यमुने चैव गोदावरी सरस्वती नर्मदे सिन्धु कावेरी जलेऽस्मिन् सन्निधिं कुरु पूजोपकरणानि प्रोक्ष्य आत्मानं च प्रोक्ष देवतामूर्ध्निः प्रोक्ष्य। ओं देशिकेन्द्राय नमः। ओं दयानन्दाय नमः। ओं दरस्मेरमुखाम्बुजाय नमः। ओं दुर्लभाय नमः। ओं दुर्जयाय नमः। ओं दान्ताय नमः। ॐ द्रव्यापेक्षविवर्जिताय नमः ॐ दर्पदूराय नमः ॐ दमोदेवाय नमः ॐ देवासुरनमस्कृताय नमः ॐ दामोदराय नमः ॐ
दृढप्रज्ञाय नमः
ॐ दिव्याचारविशोभिताय नमः ॐ दविष्ठाय नमः ॐ दुर्धराय नमः ॐ दक्षाय नमः ॐ दैवस्मरणतत्पराय नमः ॐ द्वेषहीनाय नमः ॐ द्वेष्यहीनाय नमः ॐ दुष्टचित्तप्रसादकाय नमः ॐ दुःखज्ञाय नमः ॐ दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः ॐ दिव्यरूपाय नमः ॐ दृगमृताय नमः ॐ दृढानन्दाय नमः
ॐ दृढज्ञानाय
नाय नमः ॐ दृशिमात्राय नमः ॐ दृढव्रताय नमः ॐ दमादिगुणसम्पन्नाय नमः ॐ देहत्रयविलक्षणाय नमः ॐ द्वैताद्वैतस्वरूपात्मने नमः ॐ द्वैताद्वैतविवर्जिताय नमः ॐ दुर्धर्षाय नमः ॐ दुर्गमाय नमः ॐ दुर्गाय नमः ॐ तृप्ताय नमः ॐ दैवत्यशोभिताय नमः ॐ दीप्तिमते नमः ॐ दीक्षकाय नमः ॐ दण्डाय नमः ॐ देहबाधाविवर्जिताय नमः ॐ दर्पन्ताय नमः
ॐ दुष्टसंहर्ताय नमः
ॐ दर्पदाय नमः ॐ द्रविणप्रदाय नमः ॐ दृग्दृश्यतत्त्वविज्ञाताय नमः ॐ देवादिर्देहविवर्जिताय नमः ॐ देवदेवोत्तमाय नमः ॐ दुरावासाय नमः ॐ दृढाय नमः ॐ दोषविनाशकाय नमः ॐ दार्शनिकाय नमः ॐ दुराराध्याय नमः ॐ दुर्निमित्तविनाशकाय नमः ॐ दैवीसम्पत्समारूढाय नमः ॐ दग्धज्ञानिने नमः ॐ दृढशयाय नमः ॐ दुर्वासनापरित्यागिने नमः ॐ दित्सुदैवसमाहिताय नमः ॐ दाक्षिण्यशीलसंयुक्ताय नमः ॐ दुरितौघविनाशकाय नमः ॐ दीनार्तिध्वंसकाय नमः ॐ दीप्ताय नमः ॐ द्विजन्मानिने नमः ॐ दुष्टदूरगाय नमः ॐ धरान्दोलितदीर्घाक्षाय नमः ॐ द्वैघीभावविवर्जिताय नमः ॐ दर्शनादर्शनत्यक्ताय नमः ॐ दूरीकृतविपर्याय नमः ॐ दजितादयानन्दाय नमः
ॐ
दर्पदाय नमः ॐ दम्भनाशकाय नमः ॐ दारुणाय नमः ॐ दक्षिणाय नमः ॐ दाताय नमः ॐ देहात्मभावविवर्जिताय नमः ॐ दुःसङ्कल्पपरित्यागिने नमः ॐ दीप्तात्मज्ञानशोभिताय नमः ॐ देशकालविमुक्तात्मने नमः ॐ देशकालसमायुक्ताय नमः ॐ दिव्यज्ञानीदुरीहाय नमः ॐ दिव्यदृष्टिसमायुक्ताय नमः ॐ दिगन्तव्याप्तकीर्तिमानिने नमः ॐ दुस्तराय नमः ॐ दीक्षिताय नमः ॐ दिव्याय नमः
ॐ दिव्यज्ञानप्रचारकाय
प्रचारकाय नमः ॐ दयालवे नमः ॐ द्रवात्मरूपाय नमः ॐ दहराकाशसंस्थिताय नमः ॐ दाशमानशरञ्जयाय नमः ॐ दिव्यास्त्रवाक्समायुक्ताय नमः ॐ दत्तवाङ्मरसंयुताय नमः ॐ दुराचारातिदूरस्थाय नमः ॐ दूरीकृतकुसंशयाय नमः ॐ देहदुःखपरित्यागिने नमः
ॐ
अम्बाहङ्कारवर्जिताय नमः ॐ द्वन्द्वमोहविनिर्मुक्ताय नमः ॐ देहात्मज्ञानबाधकाय नमः ॐ दीनोद्धरणसंसक्ताय नमः ॐ दिव्यमानुषविग्रहाय नमः ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः ॐ दानशूराय नमः ॐ दारिद्र्यध्वंसिने नमः ॐ शोकप्रशमनाय नमः ॐ देवासुरगणाध्यक्षाय नमः ॐ दिव्यमङ्गलविग्रहाय नमः ॐ दृढप्रज्ञाय नमः ॐ श्रीदयानन्दसरस्वती सद्गुरवे नमः ॐ न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति राजाधिराजाय प्रसह्य शासिने नमो वयं वै श्रवणाय कुर्महे समे कामान् कामकामाय मह्यं कामेश्वरो वै श्रवणो ददातु कुबेराय वै श्रवणाय महाराजाय नमः दयानन्दरुद्रवे नमः आनन्दपुण्डदयानन्दस्य आचमनीं समर्पयामि रक्षां धारयामि ॐ हरा
सदास्मेरवक्त्रं कृपापूर्णनेत्रं स्थिरं दीनमित्रं जनप्रीतिपात्रं कषायाग्रवस्त्रं दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे परब्रह्मनिष्ठं स्वतो धर्मनिष्ठम् अहिंसैकनिष्ठं स्वशिष्यै सुदुष्टं यतीनां वरिष्ठं गुरूणां कनिष्ठं दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे सुशास्त्रे चरन्तं सदा सञ्चरन्तं जनान् बोधयन्तं भवादुद्धरन्तं मठान् स्थापयन्तं गुरुपूजयन्तं दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे कलानां प्रचारं ददानं विनम्रं स्वयं ग्रन्थकारं सदा मानिकारं नमतापहारं स्वयं निर्विकारं दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे सदा शान्तमूर्तिं सदा शान्तिमूर्तिं सदा दान्तिमूर्तिं सदा सत्यमूर्तिं प्रमाणवृत्तिं दिशन्तं सुकीर्तिं दयानन्दरूपं मठाचार्यमीडे मीडे दयानन्दरूपं नगाचार्यमीडे इतं पञ्चकं यः पठे शुद्धसिद्धः सदा मोक्षमार्गे नितान्तं प्रवृत्तः प्रसादाक्षशास्त्रुर्भवे ज्ञानयुक्तः सजीवन्मृतो वा भवे नित्यमुक्तः
न कर्मणा न प्रजया धनेन त्यागेनैके अमृतत्वमानशुः परेण न कन्निहितं गुहायां विभ्राजते तद्यतयो विशन्ति वेदान्तविज्ञानसुनिश्चितार्थाः सन्न्यासयोगाद्यतयः शुद्धसत्त्वाः ते ब्रह्मलोके तु परान्तकाले परामृतात् परिमुच्यन्ति सर्वे दह्रं विपापं परमेश्मभूतं यत्पुण्डरीकं पुरमध्यजग्गस्थम् तत्रापि दह्रं गगनं विशोकस्तस्मिन् यदन्तस्तदुपासितव्यम् यो वेदादौ सुरः प्रोक्तो वेदान्ते च प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य यः परः स महेश्वरः दयानन्द सद्गुरवे नमः वेदोक्तमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि
महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महादेवमुदं शिरसा नमामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि.
Namaste to every one of you. I have heard this phrase, re-engineering. An industry is re-engineered in order to perform better. I thought I can use this expression to one's own personal life growth. There is always room for growth. And one needs to grow. To be alive, to feel alive. One needs to keep growing and then learning and seeing what is. Therefore, you have, if you take the Bhagavad Gita, they will call it as a book for self-growth and a book for self-discovery, self-knowledge. Yoga Shastre Brahma Vidyayam. I thought we can look into the growing process if you take an animal like a cow, it also has to grow. If it is a calf, it needs to grow to become an adult, to become a mother, a cow. That is its growth. And that growth is assured because of its prakriti, programming. It doesn't require to do anything special. It needs to survive. If it goes out, comes back intact, the cow will grow. Being programmed to grow. Once it has become an adult, there is no further growth, there is only aging. Age it will. It cannot escape from aging. Then, human being is no exception. If you survive for a few years, you become an adult, you can get driver's license. Somebody asked me, there was an interview, live interview, this ITV. In New York, there is an ITV. Indian TV, I think. It's called ITV. Somebody interviewed me. Then, the interviewer, he told me that they are going to ask some questions, the listeners, the viewers. And I said, okay, the telephone questions. I thought that would be interesting. The first question was, somebody asked the question, why do you grow beard? I told them, I don't grow. You can ask me why I don't shave. It grows. I have nothing to do with it. I don't fertilize. I don't do anything to make it grow. It grows. I have no time to shave. If you are ready, when I do my work, if you can shave, you are welcome. But I say, certain things you don't do anything. They grow. Every birthday you celebrate. But in fact, you are aging. It's not a matter for celebration. Is it a celebration because I have survived one more year? Or some kind of thanksgiving? Or because you are older than before by 1 year? Is anybody's question. We need to have some celebration. And therefore, we celebrate birthday. But it is a matter for celebration. If one maintains the growth level, then every wrinkle is a color, it's a ribbon. Like all these veterans, war veterans, they have all these ribbons and colors and all that, they come out after retirement. Similarly, when you have wrinkles, in our culture, that's a matter for celebration. We respect age. Just age. One One has seen so many winters, so many summers. That itself is enough for our respect. That's our culture. Therefore, Indian women, I'm talking about old women, old type, not current ones. They don't have a facelift. They don't go for a facelift, removing the wrinkles. They don't do, because wrinkles are symbols, symptoms of age. And age is respected. Why should they remove the wrinkles? If a fellow is in late 20s and wants to have some wrinkles, now I have to tell him, you have to wait it out. You can't get wrinkles. First you should get married. Wrinkles will come and become a parent. Then wrinkles will come. When your child becomes a teenager, all wrinkles will come. Even mind will shrink. And therefore, it is unless you know, you grow, there is nothing for celebration. One has to grow. And therefore, it's a matter of celebration. 1 year experience should make you richer, more profound, more acceptable to yourself. That's called growth. At the end of the day, what counts is not what others think of you, what others praise you. It's meaningless, really. What is meaningful is your own self-esteem. That self-esteem, in terms of self-esteem and self-acceptability, the growth rate is to be maintained. And therefore, I thought, I will look into this, the avenues of growth available for me. What one can do to maintain that growth level. Because a cow doesn't need to initiate a process of growing. It grows up to become an adult. There is no further growth. There is only aging. For us also, there is no further growth. Once one becomes an adult, there is no further growth. There is only aging. That is programming. Jayate, asti, jayate, born, asti, is. That is continues. Asti chet. If the person exists, then vardhate. Then the person grows. Still asti chet, the asti has got anuvritti all the way. Asti chet, vardhate. If it continues to live, viparinamate. A metamorphosis, becomes an adult. Then there is a natural growth, then begins to decline. You need glasses. Begins to decline. Apakshiyate. Then vinashyati. This is any living organism. This is true with reference to any organism, human being, no exception. Jayate asti viparinamate apakshiyate vinashyati. Everybody. This is true with reference to any animal also, even tree also. Anything that lives, this sixfold changes are there for any organism. You need not do anything. But one's own initiative is necessary in order to grow, in order to have a better infrastructure to absorb, in order to assimilate experiences, in order to become more or less free with reference to self-approval, self-esteem. ठीक है ना? This growth doesn't happen. It's not natural. It is in one's own hands, one's own initiative. One has to initiate the process of growing. Then you are alive. You are addressing the reality. Your infrastructure is bigger. That's why there is education. If there is some classical music, a good musician is performing, you will understand only that much allowed by your own understanding already. One who knows enjoys. If that is a classical music, that to enjoy classical music, you must have some classical music. You need not sing, but you should know the structure. What is classical music? Otherwise, you will get bored. The grandfather takes this boy to listen to classical music. Grandfather thinks without the knowledge of classical music, there is no aesthetic pleasure, a lingering joy. That is aesthetic. To have that kind of joy, pleasure, which has a content, which has got a quality, depth. So for that kind of pleasure, you need to know what does it take to enjoy classical music. Grandfather wants this teenager to learn something about this classical music, takes him to a concert. And this Bade Ghulam Ali Khan is a big musician. He's also big. And sits there, he fills up the whole auditorium with his great voice and music. And then, So, then this fellow wants to some progress. Then he tuned tambura. I'm trying. He's stuck with It doesn't go to E. And therefore the boy says, he needs action, So music must be active. Not sitting and it won't work for this fellow. Then he says, Grandpa, shall I go and get some popcorn? He goes out. He never comes back. Why? No action. These days, sitting and listening to music doesn't exist. That's gone. Now you have to stand up and do music. Really true. Is do music. Even in the flight, the fellow sitting next to me and was not doing like this. Night I want to pick up some sleep and this fellow goes on doing like this. And then afterwards, what is he doing? He has got a headphone. But headphone is seated, he cannot but do something, unmindful of my sitting next. So carried away. That's modern music. I don't make a judgment. I say that's the reality. Because you don't require much to learn. Very simple rhythm. आ गया चले गया, आ गया चले गया, आ गया चले गया, आ गया. That's music. It's not just music, it's participation. Then everything seems to be okay. Unless you have music, you can't enjoy music. To the extent you have here, that extent you will enjoy the world. Otherwise, what eyes bring to you, that's all the world you have. What ears bring to you, that's all the world you have. But ears can bring to you a lot. Eyes can bring to you a lot. So much it can bring to you. If you have kept up the growth rate by your own initiative. You understand this? It doesn't happen. Only aging happens without effort. And therefore, if one maintains the growth rate, then one can celebrate every birthday. Therefore, we need to identify the areas wherein there is growth possible. First, identification before troubleshooting. Any problem identified, we can make an attempt to solve. But here, it's not any particular problem we are solving. I become a problem to myself if I cannot accept myself. And I cannot be acceptable unless I feel alive, approving myself as a person. No matter what are my looks, what is my height, what is my color, notwithstanding all this, one has to just close one's eyes and enjoy. Open your eyes, you enjoy as a person looking at the world. And there are things which are unpleasant. I can be objective. You can't convert unpleasant into pleasant. But you can learn from it. You can keep learning. And therefore, the areas of growth axis need to be identified. And in this one day, this seminar, so I'm going to identify some of the areas. Not that we are going to complete the whole thing, at least I have initiated a process. And then we will address those areas. One, a value for objectivity. Very simple, very difficult. A value for objectivity. One can be objective to reducing one's own subjectivity. Big words. It's very simple. You cannot but look at whatever you confront as it is. But as it is subjective again. You are going to project yourself into the world. The world may be a person or a group, maybe your children even. The world consists of people, situations, events, the country, and the leaders of the country. I find we are worried about personal life. Personal life includes your country, your society, this leadership, political leadership, religious leadership. All these disturb your country, then global. We are now exposed to global realities. And therefore, anything that affects you need not be always objective. In fact, it is not objective. If you understand the reality and address it the way you need to address, the way you can address, then you are objective. Sit and complain all the time. You don't live in the public world, the world that is available for public appreciation. You live in your own small world, the world of your projection. It's very interesting to see. Suppose you have some difficulty relating to another person in your life, even as a friend, neighbor. Now, you find this fellow is very difficult. And you talk to the other person, because I am a common fellow. So I talk to this person, the person feels that that person is very difficult. Then I talk to that person, that person says, this person is very difficult. Who is right? Who is right? Both are right. Because both are responding according to their perceptions. The same person, he thinks he is okay. The other is wrong. He doesn't understand. The other is wrong. You are right. Then why the other person thinks that you are not right? Perception. Your way of looking at the other person. And therefore, there is no communication. There is no, it is like a dialogue between Pakistan and our Krishna. Peace process. Peace process. So you have to initiate the process. If it breaks down, let it break down. You have to initiate the process. You can't be desperate. You have to keep doing. There's nothing wrong in that. That it will break down is a known fact. We don't require a newspaper for it. We know that it will break down. These are the people we deal with. Each one has his own perception. So the collective will of a country, the people, represented by one person or by one's cabinet, collective will. And therefore its perception is not objective. And our perception also is not very objective. And therefore, there is a reality of me being in the scheme of things. I am subject and everything else is object. Different spheres in life. In every sphere, I can maintain objectivity. In every sphere, you have a family. That's a sphere. You have a society immediate. Another sphere. You have a country. Another sphere. And your job or business, another sphere. And another sphere, personal interests like music, like literature, that is another sphere. Then you have too many hats to wear every day. You have to play the role of son, daughter. Non-negotiable. You cannot say, I don't want to be a daughter anymore. And you have to deal with that reality. You are a person and you play roles. Because same person is daughter, same person is sister, same person is wife, same person is mother, one person. And where is objectivity? If there is a hangover of the person after playing the role, hangover of the role, you all know hangover more than what I know. You are likely to know. At least you deal with those people who have hangovers. So you play the role of husband or wife, then there is a hangover. You talk to your friend, there is a hangover. Even talk to children, relate to children, there is a hangover. Even father, mother, their expectations, their issues, hangover. Who are you? Piled up hangovers. Piled up hangovers. Where is objectivity? Therefore, I want you to understand how the area where I can grow into a person is to be objective. One area is to be object. We will talk about how to deal with that subjectivity. A sane person is one who is the most objective. Then I need not talk about insane person. Okay? In different degrees, people are not sane. But we all pass because those who need to pass us are also in the same boat. Like an institution. In an institution, that is a name for mental hospital, understand? It's called institution. He is institutionalized. Means he is in the mental hospital, Agra. Then you look at this, in the mental hospital, among themselves, those who are there, they are all okay. The one who is not okay, the doctor who comes and goes. But everybody else is okay. We approve ourselves. We don't have anything better. When you don't have anything better, you are okay. But you cannot avoid the hangovers affecting you. You can't make decisions. You can't retain sanity based upon your hangovers. All hangovers include judgments, unpleasant regrets and so on. And therefore they cannot form the basis for you to respond to the world objectively. Impossible. Therefore, one area is the possibility of growing in terms of objectivity. Even if you become a sannyasi, you need to grow objectively. But you have time to address that. One more area. The tendency to duck to reality. To duck to the reality. Without addressing it as though everything is okay, everything will become okay. Some people in responsible positions in our country, they just close their eyes. Everything will be okay. Then afterwards, the situation becomes too complicated, too complex. Nationally, internationally, domestically, community-wise. Wife wants to talk to him. He concludes already. Oh, she's going to talk to me about my mother. In fact, she wants to talk something else. But he concludes. And mother means he is still a child. Grown-up child. Has not become an adult. Mother is mother. She has her background. And you cannot change her. If you can change her, that would have been wonderful. Nobody changes anybody, even myself. I once upon a time thought I would change people. And I started a course. In the course I thought that anybody I can change. I knew my subject matter and I thought that I could change people. They changed me. What? I cannot change anybody. I can only teach, share what I know. But if they want to change, nobody can stop the stop them from changing. Therefore, we are teaching. Nobody can change anybody else. Even if one wants to change, one finds it difficult. One can provide that support system. And therefore, there is this area of the addressing the problems without procrastination. It becomes complicated. When she wants to talk, you better talk. The earlier the better. Afterwards, you have to deal with tsunami. And therefore, better deal with it. Procrastination. How to do it, we will see. And self-acceptance. I may be objective, but still what I see myself is not acceptable. It's objective. I have money, no money. That's objective perception. I have no money. Objective perception, that is not acceptable. How are you going to accept yourself? In terms of so many spheres again. In terms of education, I wish I had done my master's. I wish I had continued to do PhD. I wish I had taken up a job. I wish I had started a business. I wish. There are a lot of omissions and commissions, correct? You have to deal with all of them. My own omissions leave me guilty. Others' omissions towards me leave me hurt. I am hurt because others' omissions and commissions. Very objective I am. How could he say that to me? How could he do this to me? How can he forget my birthday? He is supposed to be my husband, and he doesn't remember my birthday. These are all things. He doesn't remember because you become a part of his life. He need not remember. These are all crossing every T and putting every dot. Those fellows are dangerous fellows also. I tell you. Possible. How to deal with others' omissions and commissions leave me hurt. My own omissions and commissions leave me what? Guilty. This is called sorrow. In life, that is sorrow they make you sad. Nayam hanti na hanyate. That is called grief. That is sadness. There is a solution for it. Relatively and absolutely. I'm going to deal with relatively. Absolutely, that's a thing to be learnt. That's all the way you have to understand the reality. But now let us maintain our growth area. Maintain our growth rate in these areas. Objectivity, 3 areas. Objectivity, procrastination. Lack of objectivity is the problem. Procrastination is a big problem. Not addressing the problem, ducking to the problem. Postponement without any reason, that is called procrastination. In Sanskrit, that person is called Dirgha Sutri. He gives a big rope for himself to hang himself. Dirgha Sutri. Very beautiful name. And thirdly, you have the deal with guilt and hurt. This is personal re-engineering. This objectivity covers a lot. Here comes the knowledge of Vedanta a little bit. You are a person very unique. Uniqueness is not only in terms of DNA, in terms of your fingerprints, in terms of your earlobes. Unique. They always say that you please show the earlobe. Unique. They don't take the print of your lobe because they have to roll you. And therefore they only take fingerprints, but they photograph your earlobe. Amazing. There are just very few features in your earlobe, but every earlobe is unique. Kya baat hai? This is how they are able to maintain. And the previous generation, nobody had the type of earlobe you have. So whether you like it, but that's how you are unique. The most important uniqueness is you are the only one whom you can refer with the word I. Nobody else you can refer with the word I. Can you? I also is a pronoun. I can use, you can use, everybody can use. It's a pronoun. You is a pronoun. He is a pronoun. She is a pronoun. It is a pronoun. Now listen. He, pronoun, it can stand for any number of males. Any number of males. Then even your dog is a male, therefore you say, oh, he loves this. He loves. He only. Your pet is he. You don't use it. But it also is a pronoun. It can stand for any object. He stands for any male. She stands for any female. You, I can use the word to address you. You, only one word enough to address you. But how many places you can use the word I? How many? Only you. Then what? Everything else is what? Is an object. Whether it is a he or she, or object of you or object of it. All these are objects. And you are the only one who is subject, correct? I. There is no second I. If you say there is a God, third factor, that is also, if he is different from you, it is object. You are the subject. Therefore, God is not one among the many. God includes you and the object both. Then that seems to be, yes, a concept, a vision that's complete. That's another thing. One thing is, if God is different from you, object, you think of potatoes and God is gone. Then you think of God and everything else is gone. Therefore you reduce God into parota. Because equal. If I think of this, God is not there. If I think of God, this is not there. This is insanity. We use big word, God. Therefore, one thing is certain. I am the subject and everything else is object. And therefore, what happens? When I play different roles, it looks, they are roles. Like a person coming to a theatre, playing a given role. He plays the role. A new drama. The hero is a beggar. Beggar means begging person. Beggar is a word that has gathered some connotations. Very judgmental. And therefore I say the begging person is given to begging. That begging person, he is playing the role of a beggar. Why do you say that person is a role? Because while begging, he doesn't think that I am a beggar. Correct? I am a beggar. No. He is very objective. In the theatre, appearing, he has to come. When the begging person has to come out to the platform, to the stage, from behind, he is coming out. The whole body belongs to Mr. A, actor. And the begging person is B. Therefore, B is A. B's role is an unpleasant role. People don't give anything, but then they will give advice and abuse. Why don't you work? Yes, I'm ready to work, please give me a job. No, but job you will find somewhere. Then don't give advice. Don't give advice. He comes here not for advice, he will give you advice. If you can't give, you tell it blindly, I can't give. And therefore, it's very unpleasant role, willingly taken. Why? Because the fellow knows that I am rich and I will be richer by being a begging person. for some time. That's called objectivity. There is space. That space is an amazing space. The space of leisure. The space that allows you to retain your status. You don't lose yourself into the role. That's why you can remember the script and play to the script. Correct? In the cast, suppose somebody else was missing the lines, you can make up for his omission and keep the drama going. That's amazing. That is role playing. That is objectivity. In the theater you can do, but in real life, every day, a day to day, what you do in real life is the same thing. Playing roles. But we don't think so. Correct? Why you don't think so? Because there is no insight and clear insight about me playing roles daily. Son, daughter, just appreciate this clearly. With reference to whom you are son, you are daughter to these parents. There again, there is a mother's son, there is a mother's daughter, there is father's daughter also, father's son. What is the difference? What you would tell your mother, you won't tell father. What you would tell father, you won't tell mother. There is a father's son and daughter. There is a mother's son and daughter. So there are two sons, there are two daughters. Because daughter word common, but the relationship is different. Therefore what? Therefore, I am father's son, I am mother's son. Okay? I am sister, I am brother. From the standpoint of brother and sister, from the standpoint of my mother and father, from the standpoint of spouse, I am spouse, from the standpoint of children, one's own children, one becomes a parent. This is a parent, okay? It's very clear. I am the person playing different roles. Employer, employee, citizen, a human being. So, varieties of roles you play. That is the person. There is one basic person. The basic person. Objective. Totally objective. If you are a basic person, a conscious being playing different roles. Between the role and the person, there is space. A space which is not physical. It's not physical distance. But the roles problems are confined to the roles. They don't travel to the person. Is there a distance between role and the person? A role comes to the stage and the person comes to the stage. Leaving behind the person, no role can come to the stage. Do you know why? B is A. The begging person B is A actor. while playing the role B, A is unaffected, untouched, unstained, na lipyate, unaffected. Without owning up this reality, how I can be objective? Therefore, in this area, we have to re-engineer ourselves. We have to change our attitudes about ourselves. The more we will see about this when we come back after a small break. Okay? Thank you.